I had left a piece to my tripod that actually holds the camera. I was out of town. It was 110 degrees out, and the co-host that was going to participate traveled 2.5 hours to be in this video. It was stressful, but we powered through, had a good time, we got some good memories, and now we have the video for you. So let's take a look. Please enjoy. Let's do this. Hi everybody, welcome back to another Vatawc session. It's Vatawc, vest and tie and walking cap. We're here in New Salem, Illinois. I'm here with some hobbyists about what's going on. This is a place back when Abraham Lincoln was here. There was absolutely nothing here except for a sawmill that could tear down some trees. They cut some boards and they built the New Salem area. So we're going to find out who these people are, what they know about that situation right after this. Say hi everybody.
Hi.
So hi, what should we know about this sawmill going on? What do you know?
In the fall of 1828, John M. Cameron and his Uncle James settled on the ridge, which later became the town of New Salem.
Look at that, knowing everything. Let's find out a little bit more. So, what else should we know about this?
Well, they petitioned the legislature to dam up the Sangamon River, and the legislature granted their permission, their request.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I guess there's some other things we should know.
They were millwrights by trade.
And what do you know, something else about this place?
They cut down trees and sawed them into planks to build houses for those who would come later.
Awesome, so that's what would explain why they call this place a sawmill, because the mill actually makes a saw that cuts the trees he's talking about. That's great. I bet there's a little bit more we could learn. Let's find out. So I was roaming around this place. There was literally, this was run on water, and we'll be getting to that, but I think how the place was built would be more interesting. How did this place get started?
So the legs for the structure were sunk to the bottom of the river and then filled with 1,000 tons of stone, wagon loads of stone.
That is a lot of stone. I think there's a few other things we probably should know about this place. What kind of things did it make here?
Well, the mill mostly made corn a lot.
Yeah, it did make corn. When our guest host said it made corn, it did. That made this a grist mill as well as a sawmill. Water was allowed in to turn a horizontal wheel that had a log on it, and the log went up to turn gears, just like what you're seeing here. And the gears turned millstones. The bottom of the two millstones would stay put while the horizontal wheel spun the top one and would grind corn into flour. Then that was one side of it, and then the other side was dedicated to making something else. What did it do?
The mill made mostly planks from logs.
That's right, just like this. These are giant planks. Look how big that is. Awesome. Let's take a look around and see how this place functions. What are we looking at right here?
Well, this is the saw, and logs like this were pushed into the saw to create planks,
Like what we were looking at before, right? Awesome. Here's a saw down here. Here's a log, sorry, right down there. And that's the big saw. It went up and down. Awesome. Thank you very much. I think we're going to go find some more stuff on this place.
Where's Megan?
So the saw we heard about goes up and down in order to, cut the logs into planks and build stuff. How did the saw go up and down?
There used to be a paddle wheel right there.
A paddle wheel? Yeah, it rotted away, didn't it? Well, okay, thanks for telling me that. That's a good piece of info. And she's right. There was a paddle wheel. If you take a look at the bottom, you can see a very long paddle wheel spinning. The water would turn that, and on it is a crank that would go up and down, and it is directly connected to that blade, causing it to go up and down and saw any logs that was pushed into it. So it's interesting how this saw blade came to actually cut logs. It has to do with a piece of equipment over here. What's this arm thing sitting over here?
Well, first they would have to release this arm. That in turn would allow this wheel to move, and then the movement of the wheel, would allow this piece down here to move. Now when this piece moves, it allows the logs to come forward, being cut by the saw. Now the faster the river goes, the faster the saw moves. So usually it moves very slowly unless you had a lot of rain, and then it's really going.
Rain was good, high rivers, yeah, then you could cut logs pretty quick and make a whole village in half the time. And she's right about that arm going up and down. Every time the paddle wheel spun the crank would turn, making the saw blade go up and down. It also made a giant rectangular piece hold onto the log and move the log through into the saw automatically, so people didn't have to move that heavy load themselves. Hey Abe, with all the talk of the paddle wheel and how water powers the wheel, and the saw goes up and down, as well as the turns of stones in the grist, that means you didn't have anything like, I don't know, electricity. Without electricity, that means you also probably didn't have internet or cell phones. You know what I think about that? Yeah, just like that. Corner wheat was poured in that hopper. It allowed it to fall into a hole. Inside the wooden area are two millstones. One is spinning on top of the other, crushing the wheat into flour. These are what millstones look like. The bottom one stays still, the top one spins. And this is what it looks like together. Now let's take a look at a grist and sawmill together in action. The corn in the hopper falling down into the hole in the millstones. The corn is crushed and turned into flour. It's pushed to the outside walls where it falls into a channel. There's a little hole in the channel where the person making the flour can check it to see how fine or grainy it is. And now for a working water-powered sawmill, so you get an idea how the actual sawmill worked in real life. Remember our host talking about the speed of the saw is dependent on the speed of the river? You can check out the speeds here. Remember the importance of that arm pushing the log through the saw? Here it is. They had to cut the last few inches by hand. The video, don't forget to click the like button and the subscribe button. We're going to raise those numbers. I totally want to thank, in the sweltering humidity, the co-host today. There was Amy, Anita, Patricia, Andrew, David, Drake, Megan, and Caitlin. Oh heck, these people here. Man, they came down, they did it, we pushed through the heat, we made the video. Thank you very much. Don't forget, I love you guys. Come on back, watch the video, like and subscribe. We'll make some more.